Let's go
World
Dodgers.
Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers. So before
Yes,
we
sir.
get into that, start mo na, Arvin.
Let's start. So this is Cali Manila Chronicles, Chismis et Recuerdos, the podcast. Welcome everyone.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. I gotta talk first because we
Yeah,
just came
sure,
off of a
go.
win. No more than 12 hours ago, the Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series 2024. It's been a good year.
Yes, yes. Did you expect that? Like, from the start of the season until like, yung champions na sila?
I think we had high hopes, because we had a bunch of really good players. We yeah, I mean we were one of the biggest payrolls in the
Yeah.
entire league, so I think it's expected, and we got Shohei Ohtani. Uh, but I'm not gonna lie, I got scared halfway through the season when we started losing all of our starters, like
Is it
main
halfway
pitchers.
or in the San Andres games?
I mean, throughout the season, I would say we started losing a lot of starters, and then especially the pitchers. Like our starting pitchers, I think we lost three or four main ones, and then yeah, our hitting was solid though, so
Yeah,
I wasn't concerned about that. But well fought series. I mean, well fought for the entire playoffs, but definitely the series with the Yankees. Kudos to the Yankees for putting up a good fight towards those last
yeah.
two. But man, yesterday was just amazing.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
the Riddler down 0-5 and then coming back and then closing it off with the bullpen and then bringing back Walker Bueller.
Yeah,
Well deserved. Well
yeah.
deserved.
I mean, it's not just like they had it easy way. Uh,
No.
those games are Yankees keep on fighting.
Yes. Yes.
Especially on the last game this earlier. Uh, I thought we're gonna go for another game, but they made some errors. Very poor defense coming from them. But it's just that. It's
Yeah.
just that. Uh,
Absolutely.
and in just another inning, they got five already. So
Yeah. I gotta give a big shout out too, because we love our Filipino Americans. Anthony Volpe, of the
oh
Yankees. He was the one who kept them alive in Game 4. We could have closed that out already, but Anthony Volpe hit a grand slam. So, you know, kudos to that guy. Good guy.
wow,
Love him. Love the passion that he plays with. Um, but it's just the Dodgers also had good people, good team chemistry that I felt like that's what really carried them on. So can't wait for them to come back next year. Hopefully it's another Yankees
just make them
Dodgers.
rest first. There's WBC, there's the football, there's the
Yeah.
basketball stuff. I'm pretty sure my Boston teams will, I hope there will be an LA
LA,
Boston
Boston.
rivalry in the
We'll see,
next
we'll
World
see.
Series. The last time that in the World Series, what happened? I don't know. I don't want to spoil the celebration. I don't want to spoil the celebration last. 2018? Is that 2018? When
Something like that.
but
2019.
let's
19.
forget
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that. But let's celebrate for the Dodgers.
Of
Ba-
course.
yeah, baseball is really difficult. I would say. I think I confidently believe that baseball is one of the hardest sports. Professional baseball league is really really hard because it's almost 200 games including playoffs. It's totally really really difficult to
Yeah.
continue that pace from different seasons.
Yeah.
Uh, so I wish congratulations to the Dodgers again. Wow. Wow,
Thank you. Thank
what a
you.
way to end. What a way to end. For to start our episode is to celebrate the LA Dodgers, huh?
Yes, it's a good time to be an LA fan. So, yeah, what's happening in Manila? What's new?
Well, uh unfortunately we had a typhoon recently. It
Yes.
happened with Typhoon Christine. It is anticipated, but Sadly, some of the provinces are not yet recuperated from the previous typhoons.
Hmm.
So it was like another strong typhoon that make waves. Bicol is really I would say damaged, destroyed on some level. That's why it's good that Mark from our previous episode discussed some of the infrastructure stuff. We
Hmm.
hope probably in the future discussions we could put in some because it's so you can see really the flood. I mean, some of the countries they say first world countries still experience that,
Yeah.
but not in this magnitude. I would say not in this magnitude.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
there's a still ongoing typhoon, Leon, which we offer our prayers for in the north, like Batanes, Cagayan provinces, where I believe right now experiencing some post or maybe still have experience from the typhoon Leon currently right now
Yeah.
from it. So uh, we're offering this for safety. Uh, and we don't want like lives lost from a typhoon. So yeah, and I would like to add that we have a uh Philippine International Motor Show that happened recently.
Hmm.
Uh, in the same time with the Electric Vehicles Association of the Philippines Summit 2024. I don't know, but I don't know why there is a coincidence of dates that they one is in SMOA, one is in World Trade Center, but probably competition is competition. So
Yeah.
most of I visited the Vehicle Association of the Philippines Summit. I see new electric cars, the release of the new BYD electric cars, the new Moda JQ, even the new VinFast cars from
Hmm.
Vietnam. Uh, I'm excited. I'm excited. There is oh we want electric vehicle adoption for Filipinos. I think having an increase of electric vehicle ownership could have expectations to lessen the gas demand.
Hmm.
Uh, so let's see. So I can see some of the car owners that already have electric cars have benefited uh, from last year from buying an electric car last year. And
Yeah.
right now, after a year, I believe they're sharing it on their post that they're saving up like around 200,000 pesos of gas.
Wow.
So kudos for them. And their chargers or their houses already with solar panels. It's already have net meters around it, so he doesn't not need to pay electric bills,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's free charging for as well from. But we hope we could have a increased charging infrastructure. I know that it's like we're a bedrock of floods,
Yeah.
but I hope it could somewhat fixed both problems as of the moment in the next
Yeah.
5 years or so.
Totally. I mean, any dependence on one sole source of energy is not good. So I'm glad that we're uh, going into electric cars is the next wave, and it's picking up in the Philippines too. But yeah, you bring up a good point. I wonder how it's gonna do with all the
Yeah,
flooding, and maybe it's a mix of both, right? Maybe that's what the future looks like when it's flooding.
uh,
You go into
I,
gas cars.
yeah. I mean, it's different here. When I was there in the U.S. in Boston, like in beside the baseball park or the basketball court parks, there's
Hmm.
charging stations, public
Hmm.
charging stations.
Yeah.
There's a Tesla charging stations in different areas, which is a very strategically uh, built in order
Yeah.
for to remove the range anxiety. But I don't know if here you cannot put public charging stations. It should be guarded. There's lots
Yeah.
of electrical wires with these charging stations, so I don't know. But we'll figure it out. It's
Yeah.
the Philippines. Yeah, I always figure it out.
Absolutely. Well, we're hoping our previous guest, Mark. Santos can figure that out and
Yeah.
hopefully bridge find the solution to make it happen. So great, great stuff. Great share. Thank you for so I want to move on to our topic for today. So our topic for today, we've been wanting to talk about this for a while because it's a significant part of our childhood at St. Mary's as well. Field trips. I
Yes.
think this was the one time of the year where all of us can snacks can ask for snacks from our parents, like money to buy as many chips as possible. Go to the grocery to buy all the sweets and all the drinks. We probably have more chip bags in our bag than anything else.
Yeah. Everyone is bringing something.
Yeah,
Everyone is comparing when you go inside the bus.
yeah.
Everyone
You
is like,
trade.
"What do you have? What do you have?"
Yes. All the piatos, your Nova, your cheese curls, all
Yeah.
of those.
Sweet corn. You got the nagaraya if you want the nuts. If you have candies, go ahead. If you have soft drinks, go ahead because they don't want you to buy outside.
Yes.
Just bring it. No worries about that.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, speaking of snacks, one of the first locations I remember is the Gardenia factory.
The favorite.
Gardenia
That's the favorite.
favorite Gardenia bread factory. So for our listeners who don't know, Gardenia is a local bread factory in is it in Manila? Manila, right?
Is in Santa Rosa. The factory is in Santa Rosa,
Santa
Laguna.
Rosa. Oh, okay.
Uh
But yeah,
so
it's a local brand to the Philippines,
yeah.
Gardenia Bread Factory. And the thing I remember the most is they walk you through the production line, and then what I remember the most is at the end of the trip you can buy loaves of bread.
Yes.
And uh, typically, I think for both of our families, I'm sure you agree, like both of our families just get like the plain white bread.
Yeah.
But this is the one time in the year when you can buy the flavored breads. And I would
Yes.
always get it's the chocolate bread, right? It's the chocolate swirl.
Hmm.
Ah, dude,
Yes.
so good.
Yes. And if you go to this tour afterwards and you mention like there's a store, you will always want to try the new ones, the new flavor, the new like there is like a I would say the blueberry stuff. There is a uh like they have a like parang pandesal with a filling inside,
Yeah.
which I really love. Uh, and then it's like everyone is buying, so you have to buy something as well. So so it's and that's a usual like that's always part of the itinerary, the gardenia. I don't know why, but from grade 1 to grade 6, I think we've been there for like 4 times or 5 times
Yeah.
just to go there. And we're not complaining about like we're telling, we're going to Gardenia again.
Yeah.
But when we're going there, like, oh, everyone is excited, like going inside, turning around. But you know what? That probably we're not doing probably now
Yeah.
from before is we don't have digital cameras back then. We
Yes.
don't even
Yes.
have phone cameras. So we're just enjoying literally the experience from the Gardenia stuff. Yeah,
Yes. Oh man, amazing. I'm actually just looking at their recipes now or their line of products now.
it's too
They
many.
have wow, so many flavored bread, high
It's
fiber
too
whole
many.
wheat, raisin, cranberry, chocolate chip loaf, of course. That's the best one. Black Forest loaf.
Yeah,
Look
that's
at
the one I
this.
mentioned. The Black Forest. I forgot. That's the one that I thought it's blueberry. It's Black Forest.
And then they have the muffins. There's a ube fun bun.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I like the chocolate fun bun. That's the one of the OGs.
man, this
Like
looks good.
But that's the market. They think they're the first ones to have that. They're like a standard, so every household here should have like a gardenia.
Yeah.
And most of the stores always have gardenia. So yeah.
Love
Oh,
it, love
what
it.
I think next one would be the Mongol. We always, I think twice or three times we've been to the Mongol factory. And I think that's the only thing that they have the store, but I'm pretty sure they didn't buy pencils.
Mongol Factory, where was this?
I think it's the
I
same area.
Mongol Factory. You know, I don't remember us going to this facility, but it sounds familiar. Sounds real
Yeah.
familiar. It's always it's funny. I don't know if schools still require number two pencils, but I remember like every exam time you always have to have number two pencils. It has to be specifically number two. The teachers will check. Do you have enough number two pencils? Do you have enough eraser? Is it
Yes.
sharpened? Oh man. And then it has to be this brand, Mongol.
Yeah. And I think we're is it that time that they're already I think it's already in grade six where they're now starting to scan the sheets,
Oh,
answer sheets. Is it? I'm not sure, but uh
I don't
oh
know if I
probably high
ever, maybe high
probably high
school for you
school.
guys.
Maybe high
Yeah.
school.
Because I
Uh
remember for us in elementary school, we still had do you remember the recycled paper? It's like
mhm.
the gray recycled paper that like you get it, it smells like recycled paper. I have a distinct memory of how it smells. It's just it smells damp. Not good, but very
Addictively.
distinct.
I
Yeah.
think the next I think core memory I would share is the experience of throughout the tour. Each
Yes.
bus always have a tour guide,
Yes.
and these tour guides are they keep on saying too much information. Not everyone is listening,
Yeah.
but apparently I'm listening to him always, or him or her to try what's going on. Like I think I only got how SM stands for because of those tour guides.
What does
When
SM stand for?
Schumart,
Schumart. Oh, okay. Do
they
do you know
didn't tell you
why?
that. Oh, because he's the Henry C is selling shoes
Oh,
in
okay.
Manila, in Quiapo. Uh, I think this also and the tour guide always mentions the after snippet of that is why does Mercury Drug Store, the
Mm-hmm.
pharmacy doesn't have any stores in SM because the tour guide tells I think I got it from the tour guide.
Yeah, yeah. What?
It's because when Henry C when he wants to set up a small store in front of the Mercury Drug Store in I think in Quiapo I would say uh Mercury Drug don't allow didn't allow it. So Henry C promised himself that if he became bigger, if he
Yeah.
can get rich, he has that malls, he would not entertain Mercury Drug. That's why he franchised a Watson's pharmacy. He is open for other pharmacy stores, but not Mercury Drug.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know that. That's actually a really good fun fact. You got
And
this all from the from the
yeah.
tour guide. I didn't pay attention enough. I was probably busy eating chips.
I keep on listening to those. I also got some of the information like from Rizal. I mean, they know EDSA, the meaning of EDSA,
Yeah.
Epifanio de los Santos Avenue. They mention it. The one thing that they didn't mention is the meaning of the other meaning of the roads. Uh,
Oh, okay. What
like
roads?
like the Highway 54. They only mentioned the meaning of EDSA, but
Mm,
but before EDSA, what it's its name, right?
yeah. Yeah.
So But they didn't mention that. It's always like, where are we now? Like, why is that the Quezon City Memorial Circle have like three eagles on top, something like that?
Yeah.
Uh, wha- uh, why is that? In they're not mentioning because probably you're on the road. You don't have to need to imagine it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's just more on the meaning on some cases. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, well, I think because usually they go for EDSA. Some of
Yeah.
the roads you go for EDSA. You go for, like if we go to Mega Mall, they're saying one of the biggest malls in the world.
Right. Right.
So at that time, but now it's not Mega Mall anymore. It's I think SM North. SM North is one of the biggest, and then Mall of Asia.
Yeah.
Mall of Asia is and then what else that he mentioned that I oh yeah, if we go to the PICC area,
Mm-hmm.
i- near, so if I believe we're going there or we passed through that area, so the tour guide mentions that, oh, this building is have horror stories,
Oh.
like the theater, I would say the National Theater. I could look into that.
Oh,
The
that's
ones the
I heard
one
about
with,
that
yeah.
when they were building
So
it, right? It was
yes,
like,
so the story there is, well, it's not a secret for anybody.
mm-hmm.
We have martial law at that time, and they want to have the film festival there.
Mm-hmm.
So the first lady at the time, Imelda Marcos, promised to build the uh, film film theater.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have only have 3 months to build it,
Yeah.
and they employed so many people to make it fast. But uh, shorter time means probably some could make mistakes.
Yeah.
So I think there is a accident,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the the story is they ask to stop the construction, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I the story of that is the first lady mentioned, which is I think she is also the governor of Metro Manila.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned, oh, just continue, just pour the cement there.
Wow.
So that, and for those foreigners that were there at the first day, I mean at the day of the event, uh, even the floor and even the walls are just painted, like recently painted, because when they touch it, they have paint on their hands or their clothes.
Wow.
So right now, I mean, if you go check on the YouTube, some of the foreigners are trying to get a glimpse of that theater to check if there, someone is yelling, but there's security there.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, so you're not really allowed. So they're using drones. to go inside. uh, but I think one of it, it's they're not really explaining. The tour guide's not really explaining it. But if you go, which I go research through it or around how the architecture works,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and can induce people's minds. The in terms of, oh, we're building this because it's for you, right?
Yeah.
And oh, that's progress. That's progress.
Mm.
Uh, oh, we're building this PICC. We're building this theater. We're building this and this and this because it's for you.
Yeah.
Uh, but after 40 years, oh, I'll have a coconut palace. Did you know that we have a coconut palace?
No, I didn't know about that. What's the
We
Coconut
have that.
Palace?
It's near at the PICC. Uh, Now it's like an events place. Only one government official state rented that uh palace, which is the
Mm-hmm.
former Vice President Binay in Ni Noy Aquino presidential term.
Mm-hmm.
So he rented that coconut palace. It's near at the PICC. at the
Yep.
Sofitel. So if it's Sofitel, it's beside Sofitel, the Coconut Palace.
What is the purpose of the Coconut Palace?
It's one of their uh it's one of the establishments that Marcos built
Mm,
for events, for parties. Uh but not everyone could avail to that. So
interesting. I'm
uh
just looking it up right now, and it said that it was commissioned as a guest house for the Pope John Paul II's visit, but
but
he
did he?
ultimately declined to
Yeah.
stay
Yeah.
there. Wow.
Because the Pope has its own house
Yeah.
in Manila. It's the Papa Nuncio, which
Yeah.
uh why did I know this stuff? Oh, because of the last Pope's visit. Uh the last Pope's
Yeah.
visit here, Pope Benedict or no, Pope Francis. Pope Francis visit. They explained that the Papa Nuncio's house is where it's near Taft Avenue.
Yeah.
It's I think it's near Carino Avenue Station for those listeners. So when the Pope arrives, there's always a house for them.
Yeah.
Uh, and so he stayed there. So there's
Wow.
no
Okay.
problem on having your own
Yeah.
uh, place for that. So that's is uh, I think even the cardinals and other staff have a better. I mean, not saying that he has to have a better lounge,
Yeah.
but cardinals and other staff members stayed in Saint Benilde. They
Yeah.
have Saint Benilde have one of the best courses of tourism and culinary arts. So they
Yeah.
have their own hotel near in Manila. So
Mm,
that student hotel, like for the the interns that cooking,
yeah. Yeah.
there
Yeah.
is students, they stay there.
I see. I see. Wow. Okay. Uh, Good tangent. Starting from the PICC. So, just for our listeners, what is the PICC?
Oh my God, you're there. Philippine International Convention Center.
Yeah. 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 Correct. I'm just looking it
So
up too, but
you're
I'm
quizzing me,
quizzing
huh?
you. I'm quizzing you at the same time
So
because
it's
it seems
known.
like you're remembering all the fun facts, but we gotta bring our listeners back
Well,
into like what is
y-
a yeah. So
yes.
it's a big center for a lot of different
So
huge events
yes.
for the Philippines.
Yes, it's really known. It's one of the beacon highlights of you want to see a ballet show, if a musical show. Until up to this point, it's still I think a very one of the biggest, and I think it's kind of old right now. So I'm
Hmm.
hoping they renovated it on a modern scale because private companies already building their own. Uh, like we have a Maybank Theater,
Yeah,
Resorts World have their own theater. So I hope these government places could be refabricated, improved for other events.
yeah,
But
totally.
I think we could relate to others where I think part of our childhood memory is going to Star Mall Alabang. Why? There is a Ripley's, believe it or not, uh, like a museum there.
Yeah.
So all of the Ripley's, believe it or not, I think we're going there twice. But I think you could relate to this. The tour guide is mentioning, oh, I want to say a fun fact for that. That mall before it was built, it was a cemetery.
Wow.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you heard that from the tour guide. All the tour
I
guides always
briefly, like I think as we're passing by the mall, they
and
talk about
probably you're done eating then
spirits.
piatos and the uh but yeah that they said that they're talking spirits when it's closed
Mm,
uh and most of the store owners feel sad but right now it's already demolished because of some
mm-hmm,
fire accident. So the top floors are already burnt.
mm-hmm.
So they decided to demolish it. So right now it's like just plain, and they want to build another thing. So I'm not sure if they
Interesting.
excavated something. They could see bones again.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I do remember that whenever we pass by on the bus, they talk about going to, like, whenever you go see a movie, you want to double check how many people are with you on the way back, because on the way out, because there might be extra people following you.
But
Interesting.
uh,
Star Wall.
yeah, and I do I can say, I mean, we're going for November 1, November 2, which in the Philippines it's All Saints Day and
Yeah.
All Souls Day. It's so I mean we go to uh horror stories. So uh I think I can
Sorry,
share
Sean. Give
some.
me give me a quick second. I need to blow my nose out. We'll cut this out. All right, sorry. This is the first ever cut that we've ever had to
No,
do on this.
that's not got that.
This is like cut that. Just a few minutes later, we'll add a SpongeBob.
Like
A few
uh,
minutes later.
I,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, going to that. Okay, let's go back to the horror story. I mean, if you could share some, like, okay, I think I'm feeling something. I think I'm scared during elementary years.
Yeah. Um, okay, I don't know if I ever felt anything, but I was just always scared of uh going to the bathrooms by myself. Like, if you remember our elementary school bathrooms, the bathrooms are like the in between like the staircases. So, like, you go up and then there's just a bathroom there, and then you get to the second floor. And then every floor has one. And there's like floors that are like super empty, so you never want to go to the bathroom there. Even if it's like busy, just wait.
Yeah.
Um, like, I have vivid memories. Sometimes I have, like, I don't know if it's nightmares, but I remember things from childhood. I remember there's always a giant barrel of water in the bathrooms.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think it's because, like, sometimes the piping's like weak, and so they flush it
Yes.
down with like the barrels of water. But I remember always walking into the bathrooms and I'm like, something in there?
Well, I would say on my part, uh, I'm pretty much. Well, I haven't experienced leave St. Mary's at night. I would say.
Oh, yeah,
Hindi ko pa na-experience yun. But, but, I also doing that on the bathroom. Like, okay, I ask, tara, CR tayo, CR mo, CR, so parang grupo-grupo.
yeah,
Uh, but, when like, if you really need to pee, and then, tapos like, in the middle of class, go, like, so CR,
yeah,
uh, tapos like, nagsiswing-swing yung sa cubicle, or something like the wind is so strong, uh, or even if you're coming so early that
yeah.
it's still not the sun even rises.
Oh,
So
yes,
isa
yeah,
yon, isa yon. Medyo madilim pa. It's too dark in school, so
yeah,
the lights are still there, but there are already people. Uh, and then yung magugulat ka na lang kasi because of the sisters. Some of the uh sisters are like they're wearing the black. They're black. So biglang magugulat ka na lang walking from ano, 'di ba? From
out of
the usual.
nowhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then what
Oh, wait,
else?
speaking on the sisters, that is another one that I was always scared of. And the reason why, so grade 4, Madam Balatbat's uh classroom. So we had this our classroom was uh we were in the building that was closest to the where the nuns lived. So the nuns had like direct access to a building through this hallway that just opens. Never opens. I think it only opens like one way. So only they can go in but and out, but like we can't open it ourselves. And right next to it is the the door to our classroom. So every now and then we'll just peek and then we'll see a nun walking through. They always scared the crap out of me because we always had to go really close to that. And then I think it's very different too. Like um, the nuns at St. Mary is very like um, very modest, and very like uh,
They're,
hate
they're
to
very
use
like
demure, but
they're
very
very likable, I would say. Coming
yes.
from the top, which is at that time, it's I don't know if she's still alive. She's Sister Anisha Ko, RPM.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but if she's still alive, but I think she set that tone for all of the uh sisters there.
Mm-hmm.
She's really kind. Her gesture, if she walks around, she always greets parents, students,
Yeah.
and so even the introduction, or the final remarks,
Yes.
how she speaks eloquently to us, like
Yes.
it's really like fascinating in a sense where everyone is, I mean, feel protected, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
by uh so at the time probably I don't see that I'm just really like spooked. I always spooked out like, oh, okay. Especially on that other side where it's near on the home economics area,
Yes. Yes.
because it's in the underneath.
Yeah.
And then ano pa the other is the auditorium side. It's auditorium
Yes.
side because after students coming in, there's no event. There's no people there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing na gives me creep out is like, okay, Sean, come with ganyan, go to the auditorium, fix the sound, you have to
Yeah, yeah.
prepare the sounds for the event, for something program later. Or like, oh, practice tayo something sa auditorium. Like we have like, Filipino week where or we just have some dance number.
Yeah.
So, Sean, come with kayo muna, punta. And kayo muna
Yeah.
like go with them first, like four of you. And like, oh, we're just kami lang, like we're the only four of us coming in, like,
Yeah.
and then you know, children acts like something like someone is gonna run
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
like
yeah.
oh bahala na kayo dyan. Okay.
And
uh
lagging may takutan. Like I
yes,
remember there's like multiple levels to the auditorium, and so that second level where you have to go up, I think there's like an area where it's like it's almost like the ceiling is touching
yeah,
the top rows. And so everyone would always be like, "Oh, there's something hiding right there." And
yeah,
there's like heavy curtains draping on the sides of the auditorium. That
yes,
was another
yes.
thing. Like
and,
always
and
cold in
and if you
that
go
auditorium.
if you go upstairs,
Yeah.
you don't see students going out when they got in. They don't want they don't want only by themselves going out downstairs or
Mm.
going because they're scared in some
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh there are pictures within that halls. I forgot what pictures that are. uh it's not student pictures, it's more on like uh probably, I don't know, pictures. But yeah, it's kind of spooky in a sense. The school was really built way, I mean, not like UST,
Hmm.
where I got my high school and college, where I really feel something.
You really felt stuff in
Yeah,
USD.
yeah. Well, I could add to this. So
Yeah, tell me about your time at USD. I know
so
that
high.
one's because USD, like to preface, USD is the oldest school in Manila.
Yes.
How many years? 400? 500?
400, I mean, probably right now 2011, so there are probably 412, 13, 413 years now.
413 years. So it's gone through the occupation of Spanish,
Yeah.
So the Spanish
Well,
occupied
it
the
started with
Philippines.
Spanish, right? It started with
Yeah.
Spanish occupation. But I mean, I like history, so it's they started in Intramuros, inside
Mm,
Intramuros. UST
yeah.
started inside Intramuros, with different schools, which is the four schools that Santa Isabel, Ateneo is there. Uh,
Yes. Yes.
but they go out. Kasi kaya pansin mo like if Jose Rizal studied in Ateneo and then eventually he studied in UST because it's in the same location.
Oh, I see. I see. Got it.
You
It
don't
all
need
started there.
there, but
Yeah.
they eventually got out of the Intramuros and built their own school in España, España Boulevard, which is
Mm,
the what it's I think before it's one of the biggest schools way before Ateneo have their campus in Katipunan.
yes. Yes.
Uh, and UST there stand test of time like World War II.
Yes.
So U.S. Veterans, Filipino veteran soldiers stayed there in UST,
Mm-hmm.
and like you can see the pictures that it's been a bedrock of injured people staying there during the bombings. They're staying there,
Yeah.
and I saw pictures that they put graves. So if you can see the botanical garden, the graduate school, and the UST high school
Yeah.
before it was grave of uh of who died in World War II.
Wow.
So like okay, you're gonna feel something. Aside
Yeah.
from the hospital side,
Yeah. Yeah.
aside
Totally.
aside from the hospital side, that when we were in high school, someone is telling like, oh, because one of the AVR, the ultra visual rooms, the space above the ceiling is open
Yeah.
for, and like they're not closing it for like for 2 years already. So people is, they saw someone looking down from,
Yeah.
uh, and then, yeah, they said that I experienced something. I felt something when I stayed for too late, like around 9 in the evening.
Yeah.
I'm still in high school. Uh, so like my mom and dad were gonna pick me up in UST, but apparently around 9 or 10 in the evening, I
Mm-hmm.
would say 10, they closed the lights everywhere. So they only open the lights in UST hospital. Everyone
Mm,
is turn off the lights already.
yeah.
So what we did is like okay, from UST high school, and the close are all of the main gates are closed. You just need to go outside in UST hospital. So wala pang phone flashlight yung phone ko.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have any flashlights for that. So what we did is just we just used our lights from our phones. I
Mm,
think at that time I have 3GS or N70. I don't
yeah.
know. And then we just use that light going, and I feel so much wind going
Mm,
through my head. I couldn't. My body is like I don't feel anything down, but on my head, like so. There's always wind,
mm-hmm.
not in just one direction. So like I just keep walking, just keep walking, just keep walking, just keep walking until
Yeah.
I get to the hospital. Until I get the hospital.
Ooh. Yeah.
There's another one. I really want to share this episode. Uh,
Yeah.
college we're already oh no we're already fourth year high school. Uh, we are training in the sports science. Because I am part of the track and field team, and the sports science is with the hospital annex.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the gym.
Yeah.
There's an elevator there, somewhat a good space of a big, somewhat a mid-size elevator. So I remember four of us, all of the senior high schools are there, finish all the training, going to the field and continue the training.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let's just not go to the stairs. Let's just ride the elevator. Now, okay, okay, nonchalant, we go to ride the elevator. Four of us.
Yeah.
And then from I think that's the sixth floor, fifth floor, fourth floor, it stopped. When it stopped, it opened and there's a wood, like a cover. They covered it, so like, oh shit, like why is it this closed? I mean, the
Yeah.
floor is so okay, whatever, closed. And then third floor,
Uh-huh.
open. I mean, open and like okay, there's a hospital bed. There's a nurse and one person going in with the hospital bed,
Yeah.
and like okay, whatever, probably going to another floor.
Yeah.
And then when we when we keep on looking, okay, and then like oh shit, the the bedsheet is already covered the face.
Okay.
So we're like my teammate is like tapping me, tapping me, tapping me, tapping me at the back, and
Yeah.
we're telling person is dead,
Yeah.
is dead, and like and then like go, oh, like yeah, yeah, he's dead, and then probably that relative mentioned, oh, so we're going to the morgue,
Oh,
and like when we go to the so I check the floors. There's a basement floor,
yeah.
and then we just after we go to ground, run like after we go out, nonchalant
Yeah.
walk, and then we go run,
Yeah.
and then that's it. Like I couldn't forget that because and then like we're I'm telling them like
Yeah.
I couldn't couldn't remove that memory. Like
Wow.
that person probably just recently died,
Yeah.
and like and and you know the very frustrating part of us
Yeah.
when the relative checked the face
The
and when
relative. Yeah.
yeah, like I mean he's probably mourning.
Yeah.
uh then he checked the face, he opened the sheet talking.
Oh,
So
wow.
like, and instinct, you know,
You
and
want to
then you
look
saw the
to,
face.
yeah. Oh, so it's ingrained in your mind.
Yeah,
Wow.
but that's it. That's us. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
us. Very foolish high school. uh, but yeah, that's what happened. I think that's what because some of it's more like antics. The tabi tabi po.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a different
Totally.
thing, but I think that's some other thing is more on like a tragic part. Accidents happen,
Yeah.
and uh, then you see the accident like it's very gruesome,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not really like entailed to you like on a horror stuff.
Yeah.
Are you
No.
scared for those magandang gabi bayan
Oh, yeah,
uh
totally. I
uh horror episode special?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm glad you bring that up because I remember there was one specific there's one specific episode where I remember that episode and forever it has changed how I do things in my life. So there's this like episode about I forget who the actor was that they were interviewing this actor and he was talking about how like there was one moment he was like on his computer and then he was just doing stuff. And then from like the reflection on his computer, he was like noticing someone walking back and forth behind him. It was like, oh, it's someone he knows. And then he looks back, there's no one. It's like, okay, whatever. And then he calls out to his family, and no one was answering. And then he could just like see the reflection on his computer like get closer, and then like touch him on the shoulder. I was like, ooh, dude. So moving forward, from that point on, it just stuck in my mind so much. Moving forward, that I never have a desk that's facing backwards, like the door behind me. Like I hate
Oh,
having the door behind me. So if you ever see me, my desk always has like a wall behind me.
oh,
Yeah,
Well,
I've specifically like done this in my life where like everywhere I work, I always need to have a wall. Like I'm enclosed so that no one can sneak up behind me.
oh,
That's how
okay.
that's how strong that like story was from Magandang Gabi
Maybe
Bayan.
by it.
Dude,
Wow.
yeah.
From my end, like, is that really happening? But my mom is scared. Like, he's really scared. So he really does believe in ghosts. So
Yeah.
she really believe in ghosts. So parang like we're the one contrapelo. Like we're the ones like negating. Oh,
It's
but
not true.
you feel it. You feel it as well. It's just
Yeah.
it's just like okay. I don't know if done anything to you. Just leave me out.
Yeah. I mean, I
Li-
believe it because I have a cousin who does see ghosts, and uh, I think when he was younger, they had like a witch doctor tried to turn off his third eye, like um, just like close it. But then when he went to college, it just reopened again. And I think now he's just welcoming it. Like he sees them, he interacts with them, and then he just like tells the people around him that like, hey, there's something here. Don't be scared. Like it's more of I will say so, all these horror stories. And I believe in spirits. I believe that they're around us.
yeah,
And it's just a matter of uh, it, I think for me, going back again to faith, right?
yeah.
It's like the what you surround yourself with, and then what
Yes.
you
And also how you think. How you think,
yes, absolutely.
uh, how you manage to have a belief
Yes,
that, in a sense where, uh, you're respecting them,
yes, absolutely.
in a sense, not just like, spirits in a human form, like, those who passed away,
Yeah.
but also any other kinds of spirits
Yeah.
which we believe here in the Philippines. That's
Mm-hmm.
why we keep on saying tabi tabi, but we go to the forest, we go to hiking, not just like,
Yeah.
peeing in every area of the place, talking to the trees,
Yeah.
talking to the duendes.
Duende. Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, yeah. Some the fascinating part of this uh I would say is All Saints Day and All Souls Day in the Philippines. I mean, on our childhood, we always think that it's more on the All Souls Day because we visit our loved ones in the cemetery. But
Mm-hmm.
come to think of it, Arvin, there's the first day is All Saints Day.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, and I think we have to uh give some. I think from my end, just to give some uh snippet of why there's a bit of a saint.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the distinction, I would say, from the traditional Catholics. I would say, in terms of defining saint, I would say.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
I think it's embedded from the culture of us, to to have that belief and faith with the saints.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But I think for us, as the new generation, that going to the next and on making sure that to us have that the traditional and the I think the modern, or maybe I think that's the right, I think that's the right,
Yeah.
because I mean you could have your own definition of that, but my definition of these scenes is they have this sacrificial uh faith
Mm-hmm.
from there, like
Yeah.
uh they uh like San Lorenzo Ruiz, the martyrs, some of the saints, they've done something that not any one of us could do, in a sense
Yeah.
of faith, in a sense like crimin- and we, I think Filipinos and even I
Mm-hmm.
think Mexicans does this. Uh, Probably Latin America does this because of the occupation of their Spanish occupations.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's because uh they I think there's a belief that these saints is somewhat I'm not saying it's a god from them. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's helping them to have that hope,
Yeah.
to have that to pray for them. Uh and I think from the other religions that we respect, they think that not but probably those traditional people uh think that we we as Catholics are saying, oh, these saints are also gods
Mm-hmm.
because we give them flowers to the statues.
Mm-hmm.
uh but I think right now for those, like especially the modern priests,
Mm-hmm.
uh who give more understand that these saints are helping you pray, even have a stronger faith.
Yeah.
uh from we're not It's not idolatry, I would say. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
sense,
I think
it's
I started researching it and
yeah.
I read that All Saints Day. So no, for our listeners who are not Catholic or Christian, um, November 1st and November 2nd are uh, the equivalent of here in the United States. We have Memorial Day. So for Catholics and Christians, we have All Saints Day on November 1st and All Souls Day on November 2nd. And I just searched it out. November 1st is a time to which the living commemorate the dead. So All Saints Day, but if we're specifically, is a day observing the lives of the many saints who, for whom there is no specific feast day during the year. So I just learned this. This is actually really cool to know because I think you mentioned earlier that a lot of these saints that we get to celebrate, have lived lives, very holy lives that are very admirable, that we can learn from, and we can pray to for specific things. Like I know one of the uh, going off on a tangent, one of the uh, many popular saints is Carlo Acutis, the one who is the saint
Yeah.
of like technology.
Yeah.
It's amazing because I think that's someone who has lived closer to our time that we can um, we can connect with, we
Yeah.
can relate to, and that I think it's good to remember too that all of these saints were just people like us,
Us,
and
yes.
they're not perfect, but they they did a lot of things daily to honor uh to honor God, to
Yeah.
honor something more than their lives, like more than
Yes.
they were living their life more than just themselves. And I think that's what we can get away from this. And I know
Yeah,
our
I think because
podcast, yeah,
yeah, I
go
think
ahead.
the miscommunication from that, Arvin, is because we have like statues here.
Hmm.
We have even in Spain, Mexico, because they have All Saints Day as well.
Hmm.
We put flowers, we put candles, we put
Yeah.
anything. We even put food
Hmm.
there,
Yeah, yeah,
and we're touching them. We're touching them. I
yeah.
probably myself is doing that in some sense,
Hmm.
but there's always a prayer,
Yeah.
like a prayer that probably they said that you wanted to say again, pray for that. Hopefully, he could pray with us, pray
Hmm.
for us in some sense, not uh, idolatry in some sense.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, just for any just a good education from that. Because yeah, we're not just celebrating All Saints Day. We're not just celebrating All Souls Day and horror
Yes.
stories. There's also All Saints Day, which probably the Filipinos, Spanish, Spain, and Mexico, and some of the Latin American countries who are mainly Catholics, what we are celebrating it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Celebrating Dia de los Muertos. I know for right now it's here in Los Angeles, it's 10:31, so it's Halloween Day. There a lot of kids are going to be going around and dressed up in costumes. They're going to be asking for candies and treats. But I think for us, this is a good reminder to honor the saints and the dead. Like this is a day, or these are days where we can remember our loved ones. I will say one of uh, one of the things that like I feel like I'm sensitive to spirits, but I don't uh I feel like I have um good interactions where it's like the main things that I tend to feel are uh like smells. I start smelling odors that remind me of people. And I don't know, maybe that's just a good reminder from them or from the saints that hey, we're here. Don't forget about us. Remember to honor the lives that we've lived. And I think again, this time is a good reminder to honor our loved ones and the people that have been in our lives,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I
and
think
all the
not
good
just
that
that,
they've done. Yeah.
not just the day itself, like is always also reminding you that you could visit anytime, not just that
Yes,
day.
that's
Not
very
just
true.
that day, because uh, it's also a reminder to when you have like uh some struggles on life and you want to talk to like your friend that has just passed away and is there,
Hmm.
you can be there anytime because he's there.
Yes. Yes.
So it's also a reminder not just to visit during All Souls Day, but also anytime, anytime that you want, especially if you're in the province. There's no
Yes.
harm.
Yeah.
There's no harm in visiting your loved one who just or they passed away for like 10-30 minutes, and then you go for your leisure activities.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Well, I think this is a good point to end our
And
podcast.
yes,
Um, I think we want to say thank you to our listeners again who tuned in this for this episode. Happy Halloween for those who are still in or who are still in Los Angeles,
even
and
here we are already
and
celebrating Halloween here.
Halloween already, or you're almost done, right?
Yes,
It's almost the
yes.
first. So happy All Saints Day and happy All Souls Day. Happy Dia de los Muertos to those who are celebrating. We celebrate the lives of the saints and the people in our lives uh, for the next couple of days and for all year round. So thank you guys for tuning in. This
Thank you, thank
is,
you, thank you for the viewers.
yes.
Yes, go ahead, Arvin.
Okay, let me close it out. This is Cali Manila Chronicles, Chismis at Recuerdos, the podcast.
Thank you,
See you
everyone.
guys next time.